People, where are my rotational shot putters? So much discus, so much glide. Where are my rotational shot putters? It's crazy. It's like you guys are missing in action. Here we have another glider. So this is Jose, and he has qualified for his sub districts with a 44-foot 6-inch throw. And this meet coming up in a couple days is his last chance to make state. So he's wondering if I could take a look at his throw, see if I see anything. We've been doing a lot of glide shot video analysis. This is not the best angle to take a look at glide shot, but this also, gives us some different things to look at regarding, how you're lined up, how your toe heel position is looking, all that good stuff. So, as always, couple of views in real time, so full speed. Let's take a look here. Okay, so off the bat, looks like he's gliding back nice and straight. It looks like he is landing with a pretty good heel toe position in the middle, which is going to help him to get his hips around a little bit better. But we're seeing that the ball is going down kind of the right sector a little bit. It's not going straight down the middle. It's not going left sector. It's landing over here, kind of almost right sector. So we're dealing with either an early release. He's not getting his hips down the middle for some reason. He's not getting all the way around, or he's not delivering that ball in a straight line. So let's take a look and see what might be going on here. All right, so the beginning of the throw, we can see everything is lined up pretty well. Um, we've got Jose in the back of the circle, got his right foot at 12 o'clock. We've got his body nice and straight. You can tell with his uniform because he's got the sort of the half white, half red right there that goes right down the middle of his body, that we're lined up pretty well. We've got a nice long left arm. Get some aggressive foot stomping going on right there. Stands up, gets low. Good. Heel to heel. I'm sorry, knee to knee, toe to heel. Crouched position. We can see the upper back, which means he's nice and low to the circle. Pushes off the heel, which is very good. Okay, so here's the problem. Take a look at what happens. We land on the toe right here. The next frame, it looks like he drops the heel. And this is what we just talked about in the last video analysis that's right underneath this one that was done by a guy named Chris. Drop that heel. It's really quick, right, left. So right foot touches down, left foot touches down. That's exactly how quick you want it, like 2 frames of a video. Right, left, you can see it. Right, left. So there's not a big delay between the right foot touching the middle of the circle here and the left foot touching down by the toe board there. The problem is when that left foot touches down, your right heel is on the ground. And now it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as exaggerated, I guess is a good word for it, as what we just saw with Chris, because with Chris it took a long time for him to start to pick that right heel up again. With you, Jose, it doesn't take as long. So the heel's down, then it's starts to lift up right here. Well, take a look at where you're pointing. You're pointing right down here. So because you drop that heel, you're not able to pivot on the ball of your foot. If you're not able to pivot on the ball of your foot, where's your toe, your knee, and your hip? Where are they facing? They're facing exactly in the direction that you throw that shot. Right around. Now, because of that, because you drop the heel, and because you're not able to pivot the toe, the knee, and the hip down the middle of that throwing sector, you know you got to get your hips around. You know this. You know these hips have to get around, but they're not getting around because you're not pivoting on your foot. And you're not pivoting on your foot because the heel's on the ground. So what do? You jump in the air. So the shot's not even close to coming out of your hand yet, and both feet at this point are off the ground. Now your hips are all the way around. Your hips are now facing down the middle. But what's the problem? The ball's already out of your hand. So that's why you've got that early release. That's why you're losing power and you're not able to transfer the maximum amount of force into that shot put. So remember, throwing events are all about velocity. Velocity is speed plus direction. In order to get the most amount of speed, you need to be able to transfer the most amount of force, the most amount of power into that shot put. In order to get the best direction, you need to be in the best positions so that you are lined up correctly, pushing in the correct direction, all that good stuff. So speed plus direction. And we can see here, you're not able to put as much speed into the ball, and you're not pointing in the right direction. And it all stems from dropping that right heel. So here's the solution. When you land in that power position, right foot, I want you to stay on the ball of your right foot. And I want your toes, your knee, and your hip pointing over here. This right here, this line, this is the center line of your shot circle. I want your feet pointing over here. Point them at 9 o'clock. So if this is the clock, you've got 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Okay? You might call this 90, 180, 270, whatever you call it. Point it over here at 9 o'clock. Then, because you're pointed at 9 o'clock with your toe and your knee, it's just a quick little 90-degree turn, bloop, right down the middle. You don't have to go from pointing here to down the middle. Some people leave this foot pointed back at 12, and they've got to do a 180. They've got to go from 12 to 6. That's impossible. You're going from 11 to 6. That's pretty much impossible. Going from 9 to 6, boom. Real quick, real snappy. You can drive that knee and that toe, drive that whole right leg as one unit down the middle of that sector. But that can't happen unless two things occur. Staying up on the ball of your foot and then rotating the toe, the knee, and the hip all as one unit from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then you're going to be lined up correctly. You're going to be able to actually push through the ground. You're going to be able to push with your legs, drive up, and get full extension down the middle before releasing that shot. So it all starts right here. Ball of the foot, toe, knee, hip, pointing at 9 o'clock. Left foot touches down, and then toe, knee, and hip instantaneously, bang, start to drive. If you have to wait to lift that heel up off the ground, you're never going to get your hip and your knee and your toe. You're never going to get them down the middle, and you're not going to be able to produce a lot of power because your feet have to leave the ground instead of pushing through the ground. Remember, Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. You do not jump and throw. You push the earth down. Think about pushing down so hard, like doing a squat or doing a leg press, that you're trying to push this cement circle down into the earth. You're trying to drive this cement circle down into the earth. You're trying to crack this cement circle. You're not trying to jump off the cement circle. You're trying to push your foot down into the cement circle. So turn the knee, the toe, the hip down the middle, then extend. Don't jump and throw. All right? So good stuff, Jose. Throwing 44 feet 6 inches. You've got at least another couple feet left in you if you get working with that right hip and stay up on the ball of that right foot. So just keep working on that for the next couple days until your meet. Good luck with everything. And again, if there's any questions about this video, or if anybody else has a question based on this video, leave it in the comment section down below. I check all of my comments. I respond back to them if they're worth, getting back to you about, if it's a question I can answer. And if it's a realistic question, get back to you as soon as I can. I read all the comments. Leave your questions down below.